Looking back, cryptocurrencies has had a short but volatile and exciting history. Despite threats about it shrinking into oblivion anytime in the future, it continues to be one of the most hotly debated global financial topics, and 2023 added more headlines, both scary and interesting ones, on crypto media. Investors had their wins and losses. However, in 2024, is there anything more expected of them? Bitcoin was the first cryptocurrency created, and for a long time it had retained its spot as the most valuable and well-known. It was first launched in January of 2009 by a computer programmer or a group of programmers under the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto, whose real identity has never been verified. A 2008 white paper by Bitcoin's mysterious creator revealed the blockchain system that would be the backbone of the cryptocurrency market. Bitcoin's existence has attracted several pumps and endorsements, and at the same time, dumps and criticisms. One of its wins happened when El Salvador adopted Bitcoin as its legal tender in 2021 to resolve deep economic woes. From a general perspective, public adoption has been painfully lackluster due to limited internet access, inconsistent technology capabilities, and a lack of enforcement by cities. The twist of the story is that the country has lost an estimated $40 million of its total investment in Bitcoin since its adoption, leading many to question its value as legal tender. It is reported that the country was still struggling to meet its debt obligations and public health needs. The first real-world Bitcoin transaction occurred on May 22, 2010, a date known to Bitcoin enthusiasts now as Bitcoin Pizza Day. A certain individual, recognized as Laszlo Hanyecz, paid 10,000 Bitcoin to have two Papa John's pizzas delivered to him. The pizzas retailed for about $25, and at the peak of Bitcoin's pricing in 2021, the two pizzas would have cost north of $680 million. Due to Bitcoin's extreme volatility, the pizzas currently would be both worth about $250 million. Regardless of humble beginnings and inviolable growth, volatility remains a strong language. Part of Bitcoin's volatility comes from the Garter hype cycle, a life cycle commonly known among new and innovative technologies. The 5 stages include the innovation trigger, the peak of inflated expectations, the trough of disillusionment, the slope of enlightenment, and the plateau of productivity. There have been many sour stories of individuals creating and then losing vast fortunes in Bitcoin. Perhaps this was what triggered the 8 Nobel Prize winners in the economic sciences to call Bitcoin a bubble, much like the oft-cited Dutch tulip mania in 1600s. However, there are Bitcoin supporters everywhere, and they do not fail to point out that although Bitcoin has crashed several times, it has also returned to the previous price each time. While other bubbles have not recovered their value, yes, this is true. A year ago, Bitcoin's value sank with the implosion of purported stablecoin Terra USD, a catalyst for the market failures that preceded the 2022 FTX collapse. Nonetheless, on November 9, 2023, Bitcoin hit a new 2023 high on the news of the FTX convictions. The incident turned out to favor Bitcoin a year later. In addition, BlackRock made a 1-2 punch announcement with a surprise Ethereum spot ETF filing, closely following Grayscale Investments' landmark legal victory against the SEC regarding its application for a spot Bitcoin ETF. Plus, the questionable strength of the economy has been a huge factor in Bitcoin pricing. In what was tagged as the 2022 crypto winter, sharp declines occurred in Bitcoin's pricing as the Federal Reserve began aggressively increasing interest rates to stave off inflation. Investor appetite for risk disappeared and liquidity became a major issue among the exchanges. The FTX collapse exacerbated the liquidity issue as investors began pulling funds, while the $16 billion of assets were frozen within FTX. Despite these shocking headlines around FTX and Alameda Research, as well as scarcity of smaller exchanges buckling under the liquidity strain, the allure of cryptocurrencies continue. This is one thing that will never be lost. Now, you can see that Bitcoin's price journey has been far from smooth. The original digital currency has experienced many violent dips and pumps. Since November of 2021, Bitcoin has surged with the rest of the market. The only up narrative from the days of money printing was over, with the economy struck by rampant inflation. The Fed didn't help matters as it started hiking interest rates in early 2022, with assets farthest out on the risk spectrum getting pushed the most. Higher interest rates means greater cost to borrow, less investment, and a general reduction in the level of demand. With these choking occurrences, Bitcoin has been in freefall. Now it's time to enjoy the green. The general crypto market started the new year mostly clamored in the green amid the high buying pressures. The flagship crypto asset rallied strong on the first few days of the year. Bitcoin blew up past the $45,000 mark for the first time since April 2022. With favorable market conditions and strong fundamentals to approve a spot ETF for Bitcoin approaching, the price of Bitcoin has increased by more than 20% since the beginning of December of 2023. The positive factors are overwhelming because this time Bitcoin could go on a wild bullish run. Bitcoin's halving is quickly approaching, and many participants in the crypto industry are passionate about the rumor that the US Securities and Exchange Commission may approve of a spot Bitcoin exchange traded fund product. The upcoming Bitcoin halving is expected to happen after the 740,000 block is reached. The block rewards are dropped to 3.125 coins from the current 6.25 coins as a result of this event. According to reports, recent price action affirms the rally in the crypto market is triggered by the expectations that the US Securities and Exchange Commission will approve the introduction of numerous spot Bitcoin ETFs. Furthermore, with reports recently published, the regulatory body might start informing ETF sponsors soon that their applications would be accepted. And yes, Bitcoin is back in the spotlight. A significant portion of this harm inflicted by the sharp 2022 drop that shook the cryptocurrency market was restored by Bitcoin's near 160% increase last year. During that time, the token beat both gold and global stocks, although it is still behind its record that it set during the epidemic in 2021, which was about $69,000. Then, crypto investors' much anticipated loosening of monetary policy in the world's largest economy is advantageous for the Haven crypto asset, an asset that is still considered volatile by a significant number of traditional investors. With a bull run in view, an expert in the Bitcoin space, Cory Klippsten, has addressed a few issues. Klippsten is a now renowned entrepreneur in the Bitcoin space with years of experience in the sector. He is the founder and CEO of Swan Bitcoin, a top company in the Bitcoin industry that offers investors insightful educational resources as well as a platform to purchase Bitcoin with ease. Cory Klippsten has been investing in the Bitcoin space for the past 4 years. He sees so much potential in this technology's ability to address some of the big financial and social problems facing our world today. He is all in on Bitcoin. He does not only believe that Bitcoin is poised to reach $1 million by 2030, but he also thinks that most altcoins add little to no value and will all eventually go to zero. In a similar vein, his company is a massive bet on the future of Bitcoin, from educating people about the world's first crypto and convincing them to eventually self-custody, to making private equity investments in the Bitcoin ecosystem, to eventually planning to launch its first US Bitcoin-only trust company to create a safer environment for investors. Moving forward, Cory Klippsten has a word of caution for crypto bros, and this is to steer clear of the altcoin season hype. According to him, you might as well bet your life savings on the slot machines in Las Vegas. Just keep in mind that out of the 20 to 30,000 altcoins, only 3 have ever had a new all-time high, 3 or more years after their first all-time highs, he said. Klippsten talked about XRP, which saw its 2017 all-time high beat its 2013 all-time high. He also noted that the BNB token is technically the other candidate, but only awarded it half a point. Why? This is because BNB wasn't in the game for the entire bull market back in 2017. So it's really only 2.5 because Binance only got half a pump in the bull market of 2017 because the coin came out in the summer of 2017, he explained. As for the other 2 altcoin phoenixes, Klippsten was not too keen on praising them for returning to record highs. 2009 to 2017, Bitcoin. 2017 to 2023, S-Coins. 2023 to forever, Bitcoin, he tweeted. He added, I wear my heart on my sleeve, so you're going to get pretty unfiltered commentary from me about Bitcoin, geopolitics, and macroeconomics. Klippsten is a fan of shooting hoops, but that content doesn't hit as hard as Bitcoin talks. Everyone is rooting for 2024, especially when it comes to Bitcoin investments, but only buy with the money that you can afford to lose. There is no sole winner in this race. Eventually, everyone takes profit if they invest wisely. But that's going to do it for today's video. Make sure you click on the subscribe notification buttons, and we'll see you in the next video.